are on the go-home show ahead of Revolution, and what a Dynamite we had. Whether it was Shaquille O'Neal taking a table spot, Tully Blanchard stepping into the ring and actually getting the win. Okay, finding out what Chris Jericho would be doing in AEW totally wasn't a thing. 10 almost getting a spot in a Revolution ladder match, and unfortunately not. And a step further in the Hangman Adam Page and Matt Hardy feud. All that and more on this episode of Kim and Talk Wrestling as we dissect the March 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite. And we are starting right now. So before I get started, I am going to say rest in peace to Jerry Crockett. There was a lot of old school stuff on tonight's Dynamite. Thank you for making NWA such a thing and making the amazing legends we see here today. So rest in peace. Didn't know he died last night. I believe right as Dynamite was ending, actually, because that's when AEW tweeted it. But let's hop on some good news. That opening match, way better than I expected. So this match saw Jade Cargill and Shaq versus Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes, and I felt like the woman very much dominated this match. I love seeing Jade in the ring. I felt like she totally brought it. Red Velvet, I believe this was one of her, not only her biggest match in her career, but probably her best match. And I feel like they brought it. The table spot between Cody and Shaq was really good as well. And I just love this match. I thought it was a great way to kick off Dynamite. Probably one of the best celebrity matches we've seen. And I mean, Shaquille O'Neal, he took a table spot. Do you know how many celebrities are able to take a table spot? Like, not that many. The match went for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I am upset that they actually didn't catch Jade spearing Red Velvet. They cut the camera too early. So good job, AEW. Take the page out of WWE's book. But like I said, this match was really good. Hard-hitting, back and forth. Especially with two people who aren't necessarily trained wrestlers. So way to go on that. And speaking of guest appearances, we saw the Jurassic Express versus FTR and Tully Blanchard. And oh my god, Tully Blanchard. I didn't expect him to do a lot in this match, and he certainly did. He started the match. He actually pinned Luchasaurus. JJ Dillon also accompanied them to ringside. And Shawn Spears is back, baby. Oh my god, I feel like we haven't seen him in 700 years. And then he dyed his hair blonde. It's like crazy. This six-man tag was really good. Like I said, I didn't think Tully was going to do a lot, but he did. Jungle Boy literally carried this match. Marco had a lot of good spots too in here. Jurassic Express really put up a good fight, but FTR, man, and JJ, not JJ. Oh yeah, JJ Dillon's shoe. Always JJ Dillon's shoe. But I'm really excited that Shawn Spears came back, and they kind of hinted at a 4 Horsemen type thing, so I'm really intrigued to see what that's all about. Maybe Shawn Spears is the 6th entry in that Revolution ladder match on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, who is Big Show signing? Wight? Okay. So I thought Big Show I thought Tony was actually going to interview them to figure out like what was going on, but no, he's interviewing the Big Show, or Paul Wight, sorry. So Paul Wight talks about how Tony's not the only one who has the scoop, and he's someone who takes his commentary job very seriously. And Paul Wight also joked, he's like, who expected this turn? No one? Joking about how many times he's turned heel and face in a single month, which is a very high number. Paul Wight says that this Sunday at Revolution, which he called Elevation, so good job naming two shows that very similar to each other. Paul Wight says that they have someone signed at Hall of Fame caliber. I'm going to go into this a little bit more on my prediction video. I don't necessarily know who it is. I have a couple ideas in my mind, but I am very intrigued, especially because we really don't know who this is. Like, is it somebody going to join them on the commentary team? Is it somebody that's going to be an in-ring performer? Is it going to be someone that's going to be the 6th person in the Revolution ladder match? Like, who's it going to be? So I'm really excited. I love that AEW keeps us on our toes. Like I said, I have a few possibilities when it comes to it, but I'm telling all you CM Punk marks right now, it is not CM Punk. It isn't. I'm sorry. It's not going to be him. And speaking of the AEW Revolution ladder match, Why did 10 not win? I'm so mad at this. It was 10 versus half of the Acclaimed, and half of the Acclaimed won. I'm really mad about it. I really thought 10 was gonna win, especially because -1 was there, and then Matt Hardy said screw him over because you know we're gonna hurt all of Adam Page's friends, including the people in the Dark Order. So beat a distracted 10 for Marks to get the win, and it was a really good match. 10 really doesn't get a lot of Dynamite time. He's more on Dark, so I was really happy he got a match on Dynamite. But like I said, like, really? What the hell? I was so sad. The Revolution Ladder match show is looking very good. I'm very excited to see who is going to win. But I really want to know the 6 guys, and we're not going to know until Sunday. So, sad face. But let's talk about the Young Bucks and this press conference with MJF and Jericho. So, it starts off with MJF and Jericho, and I have like a bunch of people from Barstool Sports come. Also, the person who was on the NXT TakeOver prediction panel was here. So, like, okay, dude. Conrad was here, Eric Bischoff was here, and you know, they're asking questions like, why did they beat up Papa Buck? What are you gonna do? Like, why do you guys want the tag team championships? Do you want Sammy Guevara back in the inner circle? All that jazz. And it comes to the point where they're talking about Papa Buck, and MJF's like, you know, like, we don't need Papa Buck, like, he's just a waste of space. And the Bucks very much defend their father, saying, you know, they're the reason that they're, like, he's the reason they're the man that they are. Our dad clearly did the job that your dads didn't do and failed to do. And then it resulted in a whole brawl. But before we get to the brawl, Matt Jackson. Oh boy. So they mentioned how, you know, without their dad, there wouldn't be AEW. So they look at MJF and they go, you know what that means for you? That you'd be on the indie circuit. And you'd be living with your parents. You'd be unemployed, waiting for a call on a talk show. And they look at Jericho and they're like, you know what you would do? If AEW wasn't a thing right now, you'd be jerking at the curtain at the Performance Center tonight. And I was like, oh, we're going there. We're actually going there. And they ended by saying, you know, sometimes you just need to defend yourselves, and sometimes you just need to kick a guy in the face. They super kicked them. Then Good Brothers came out, and they were helping the Young Bucks, and then, of course, led to this huge spot where Nick climbed like the top of the tunnel, and then Matt ran and put them both through tables. So that was super cool. This is a match I'm really looking forward to. I actually suspect this to be the match of the night come Sunday, maybe 2 years in a row, that the tag team match of Revolution's match of the year. But I'm really excited to see where it goes, and maybe we'll get a Papa Buck interference. You never know. And finally, this main event with John Silver and Hangman Adam Page versus Marks Quinn and Matt Hardy. So in the beginning I wasn't too intrigued with this feud, but actually I am. Obviously Silver and Page get the win, with Matt not being too happy about that. Beats up Page, beats up Silver, and says this Sunday you're not going to have the Dark Order. You know, I've worked so hard for my money, you're not going to get there, and I'm going to win. And then it just, like, escalated to this, like, because then all the Dark Order came out, and then everyone at the Kingdom Battle Royal came out, and it was a mess. So many people, and ended in a brawl, which is really good. I was kind of shocked that they didn't have anything with Kenny and John. Like, they just had the video package promoting the match. I was like, wow, like, they're not on the show? Okay. But I thought this was a really good episode of Dynamite. This is probably one of their better episodes. I really liked how they promoted the pay-per-view, because I'm actually very excited for Revolution, like I was before, but I'm extra excited now. I feel like when it comes to go-home shows, wrestling companies really don't know how to do one, but they should take pages of tonight, because tonight's episode was very well. And AEW Dynamite was really good, so if you haven't watched it. But that's all from me. Make sure to like this video, comment what you guys thought about Dynamite. Click that bell for notifications and subscribe. And most importantly, make sure that Friday night you check out my predictions on the Bob Culture Podcast with a all-exclusive panel. If you're not doing anything tonight at 7, make sure you check out Kyle and Tiff on the All Elite Pod. They're doing a prediction show themselves. Kyle, forewarning, I found a kazoo. You might get shame kazooed. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Also, make sure to check out my predictions Friday morning. I don't know if I'm doing a SmackDown review just because I am working with the Good Brothers on Saturday, so yippee. And of course, make sure to check Monday for our Revolution review. And that's all from me. Adios.